then you create your own online course, or you do live like we're doing now.
Yes, I love this.
And you can one on time. How you do that? So now you can, go ahead and we go to like I was already tell them, like we have 2 meetings going on.
Isn't it great to be in such demand, Darcy?
Exactly. So can you tell them a little bit more about what's going on?
Yes,
and then I will go there too.
Well, the thing that's happening now, I hope the people that are watching, you really follow Darcy's advice, because about a year ago, I've known Darcy, as I said, 10 years. And every year I revisit my business and I look at what's the next thing I need to implement to take me to the next level. I'd already built a brand, but I wanted to take it to the next level. And Darcy said, Wendy, you need to do more videos. And you need to do more professional videos, because I was doing a lot of stuff with my phone and just posting it on YouTube and also on Facebook and getting a lot of comments. My grandson actually did my videos, and Darcy said, no, upgrade and start doing more videos. And I did. And what happened is now it's taken our business, my business, to another level. And Darcy did a lot of my videos, so people are contacting him from doing my videos to do stuff for them too. And it just keeps going. So right now we are actually doing the webinar, and we're also doing the first real estate investment club within a club at the Commerce Club. And this is an idea that I had for a while now. And when I joined and became a member of the Commerce Club, brought an event here that did very well. And they said, would you be open to doing this? One of the persons that at the time worked at the Commerce Club, he's not here now, but he said to me, would you be interested in doing a real estate investment meeting here? And I said, of course. And they said, we think you would take it to the next level. So Darcy, myself, and a gentleman named John Dudley, and also my son, Anthony Williams, we're spearheading that. And it's off to an amazing, amazing start. And one of the reasons I wanted to share that is because most people don't understand, but one of the things you want to do in building your business is networking events. And if there are none in your neighborhood, start one. I've started networking events in Columbus, Georgia for 5 links. I've done networking events in as far as Nigeria. I've started so many networking events in the Atlanta area, in the New York area, because I think when you have information, you want to get it out to people, and you want people to have access to the stuff that you know. And the more you feed people, they will then choose to work with you. If you lead in with, I've got to make a lot of money, then you usually don't. But when you do, like Darcy and myself love to do, which is share content, and I would have to say part of our spiritual makeup is always to give, and then you end up getting in the long run. So I really appreciate that. Now, I want to get into today's content. As you know, I am a real estate investor who has been a real estate broker for about 15 years in the New York area. I've done all kinds of real estate transactions, from land to selling out subdivisions to, one property to one family houses to multi-million-dollar strip malls, and I can go on and on and on. But what's happening for me is going to do you no good unless we get to the point of getting you to move forward. So one of the things I like to start with is mindset. When you decide to really make more money, when you really have a decision that comes from your gut, and you say, I am committed to do whatever it takes to make more money, and to, one, maybe you want to give your children a better education, as I wanted. when I first got involved in real estate, or you want to give your mom a better lifestyle as I wanted when I first got into real estate. Maybe you want to help the church and give more. I also at the time wanted to give more to the private school my children were going to, which was Sacred Heart in Cambria Heights. Got very involved and helped to donate and get some things done while my children were there. And maybe you just want a better life for yourself. Maybe you have a day job, that good job, everybody calls it, but you don't like this job. And you're kind of trying to find a way to do something a little differently so that you can have quality time and enjoy what you do. Well, if you sound like any of the above is you, I would encourage you to be open to something called the Yellow Letter Mentoring Program, which is a real estate investor's dream. And I can't understand why more people don't know how to do a Yellow Letter mentoring campaign. There are a lot of people that can tell you that they use the Yellow Letter mentoring or the Yellow Letter campaign to get business. And I believe the way that I teach this program makes a huge difference. I just had a class graduate last night that have taken this course in the past 60 days, and every single one of them said they appreciate the fact that I give them specifically what I write. I give them the kind of dialogue I use when the phone rings. I teach them how to learn how to build rapport and build relationships with people that are going to take them to the next level and have people wanting to sell with them. And we also give a few leads, minimum of 200 names, addresses of people that are motivated to sell because, one, they may have a property that a family member passed away and left and they don't know what to do with it. Maybe they're about to go into a foreclosure. They don't know how to handle that. They're behind in mortgage, or they have more than one property and they just don't want to keep it anymore. Maybe they had a bad tenant and the tenant hasn't paid the mortgage. And people out there have some real estate issues that they don't know how to handle. And this Yellow Letter mentoring campaign teaches you how to find those people, or those people come out and find you and choose you and want to work with you. The reason that's important is because I always believe in what I call attraction marketing, where people self-select and say, I want to work specifically with you. And this Yellow Letter mentoring program, along with the marketing techniques that Darcy's teaching, make that a lot easier. I can't tell you how many times a day my phone rings. On the way here, I had a young lady call me from a 516 area code. And I said, New York, it could be somebody that I might know from New York. And it turned out a young lady was calling because her mom received one of my letters over the weekend, and she wanted to make sure it was not a scam because she had never heard of somebody writing a letter saying, I'm interested in buying your house for cash, with her specific address, her specific name. Something that intimate either is somebody who really cares or somebody that is out to scam you, is what she said. So we spoke for about 10 minutes, found out we had a lot in common, and she is definitely making sure that her mom works with me as the investor that ends up with her home. And these are the techniques I want to share with you. Let me just do something. I have some information here that I wanted to share, because a lot of people think the Yellow Letter campaign is something that does not work. And it is such a simple campaign, I can't say that enough, that I wanted to share with you. One, the envelopes that I use. You may not be able to see the colors that well, but Small envelopes. There we go. Now, that envelope right there is called an invitation envelope. We definitely want to use that. And as you can see, this was mailed out and it came back, but I sent out 100 letters and my phone is ringing off the wall from those 100 letters. However, you see here, 3 already came back. So that means I'm sure more are going to come back. But what I tell people is we don't want to focus on what's coming back. We want to focus on that one seller that says that I want to work with you, like this young lady says that her mom is definitely going to work with me. And so I encourage you to be open to real estate investing as a way to create a cash flow, a real cash flow. I want to go back a little bit. A few years ago, I got into real estate now since the early 90s. I have been doing real estate for many years, had a broker's license and worked in the New York area, ended up having 2 very successful offices there, came down to Atlanta and got involved as an investor. And I have to tell you, being an investor is a lot easier. It's a lot nicer. It is a lot more lucrative. And I get to schedule myself the way I choose to. I don't work Sundays. I spend Sundays at church and with my family. I take off at least 1 day a week for family date night. And I take off 1 day a week to take care of myself. I didn't have that kind of flexibility when I was a real estate broker. I've had a lot of businesses, but the flexibility and the most income came from me being a real estate investor. And so that's why I'm passionate about sharing this information, because a lot of people think it's very hard. A lot of people think that there's no deals out there anymore. A lot of people think that if there are deals out there, somebody's already getting them. And that is not true. That is not true. If you don't learn how to do the Yellow Letter mentoring campaign correctly, it won't work. You can study some of this on YouTube, but it will not take you from A to Z. And the coaching program that I share, we take you from the very beginning of writing your first letter to the addresses and the zip codes in the area you want. Doesn't matter whether you're in Atlanta, Canada, Tennessee, California, New York, Columbus, Georgia, wherever in the world you are in the United States, this works. So I encourage you to use it. So again, we take you from A to Z. One of the things that we teach is how to write the letter. We give you scripts of what to say when people start responding. When sellers call you and say, why did you send me this letter? Or what makes you think that I'm looking to sell right now? But 90% of the feedback I get, because the mailing list we give is so great, and it's not a list that you can buy. I know there's a lot of places you can buy lists, but this is not a list that you can buy. We're not selling this list. It is part of our mentoring program. And on this mentoring program, one of the things that we give is a list of motivated sellers, people that I have a personal assistant, and all she does is weekly basis is get names and addresses of people that fit a certain criteria that I have given her. So most of my people calling me back say, how did you know I was thinking of selling my house? How did you know that I'm behind in my mortgage? How did you know? And that's why they choose to start working with us, because we have a list that is pretty well put together. It's not a list. I've purchased some lists where people told me that it was a list of motivated sellers. However, it was, by the time I got the list, a lot of people had written these people, or a lot of the properties were already sold. You're not going to get that with this list. So imagine having 200 minimum names of motivated sellers, and let's say only 5 wanted to work with you, and you were able to make a couple of $1,000s or more per person that sold the home with you, and you only put out the money for this course, which is under $500. You put out $1 to get a yellow pad, and you purchased maybe a box or 2 of the invitation envelopes, which sell for about $5 anywhere USA. I've seen them for $4 and change, or $5.77. So let's say $6 the most. And let's say you bought 2 packs of these because you wanted to send out 100 letters. So so far you've spent less than $500. It's about $400 for the mentoring program. It's about $10 for 2 packs of envelopes, maybe another $2 for the yellow pad, and maybe you purchase 2 pens, $1 each at the dollar store, and but you made 10 times that on your first deal. And let's say while you were watching something like The Prophet, or if you're like me, you like the new show Empire, maybe you were watching that and writing your letters while you were watching that. So maybe you put in an hour. Is that a great return on your investment? And we're not just talking money. One of the things that I found about my graduating students is they develop. A lot of them come into the program brand spanking new, wanting to buy a home for themselves or want to become a real estate investor, and they don't know how to get started. So they're kind of timid on what to say. I had a gentleman who, when he sent out letters, he said people called him back and they weren't too pleasant. And I told him to shift his expectation. And he is now in the middle of a transaction for an 8-family property that's going to cash flow well over $3,000 a month. Some people aren't making that, going to work 40 hours a week, 4 times a month. They're not making that. This gentleman's going to make it from one transaction, one set of 200 addresses that he sent out. And that's just one deal. He's obviously going to do more deals, but that is one deal. And just to see how he's grown and his confidence has changed. We put you in a Google group that is private. There's nobody else involved in this Google group except for you, the person that wants to be an investor, and any one of the people that have come out to speak. We have attorneys, we have other real estate investors, we have lenders, skip tracers, people that teach you how to find addresses, rehabbers, contractors, anything that has to do with real estate. We even teach you how to work with real estate agents anywhere in the world so that you can find the properties you want. We also teach you how to find buyers for the deals that you have. And all of that information is shared in the Google group. So knowing that somebody is there holding you accountable and yet supporting you and guiding you and holding your hand makes it a lot easier to be able to do real estate. And one of the reasons that I chose to do the Yellow Letter Mentoring Program the way that we're doing it is because I really, really thought it would be a great way to help other people. When I got started in real estate years ago, I got into this industry and I got in because I was flat broke. I was living with my mom, had 3 babies, and I couldn't even figure out how to get $25. I remember it was snowing in New York and my kids needed coats for the winter. I couldn't even afford to get them coats that were $9 a piece. I couldn't even afford that to get them coats that were $9 a piece. We're talking under $30 for 3 babies. And I said, I am not going to have my kids live this way. So I went to a real estate seminar with Robert Allen. And one of the things that Robert No Money Down Allen taught, he first dealt with our mindset, which is what I did in the beginning, trying to get you to see, is this a vehicle you want to use to do real estate with? That's one. Two, I wanted to do what he did, which is push us out there to go and do a deal. And I was so nervous, but he gave us one letter to send out to hundreds of people. And I ended up with 10 deals. 100 letters got me 10 deals. That's 10%. 100 letters got me 10 deals, amazing deals that were in Tampa, Miami, New York, Las Vegas. I can go on and on and on. And so I wanted a program that was going to help give that same kind of support, that same kind of hand-holding, that same kind of throw you in the water, but don't let you drown, because we'll be there to catch you and teach you how to swim. And the Yellow Letter Mentoring Campaign is something that works very well. I've also partnered up in doing this with a very, very amazing gentleman. His name is Kurt Smith, and Kurt is really excellent at the numbers of a deal. He can tell you, your rate of return with his eyes closed. He knows how to figure out deals in ways that I don't even think about. So I have mastered talking with sellers. I have mastered putting deals together. I have mastered getting deals to the closing table and making sure that the deals that I put together are definitely going to get closed. And people end up leaving the closing table happy. They don't feel forced to be at the closing table. They're happy to do the deal, and therefore they give you referrals. So the Yellow Letter Mentoring Campaign does all of that. Now, you're probably wondering if this is something you can afford to do. And I have to say, in this economy, with jobs being scarce, I encourage everybody to start your own business. And this is the least expensive. I've met people who've put more than this type of money out to get involved in multi-level marketing, and nobody's holding their hands. Once they sign up and they get that RIN number or whatever number that they get, sometimes people drop the ball and they're not guiding you to get your money back or to continue growing. I also do multi-level marketing. And when I first got started, I had to study my manual, and I learned how to do what I needed to do to make sure I got my first bonus and built an amazing team. But most people don't get that. A lot of people take $1,000 or more and sign up for multi-level marketing only to lose their money. I'm not saying don't do multi-level marketing, but if you have something that's a no-brainer, like real estate investing, people always have to buy real estate. People always have an issue with real estate some kind of way. Either they're about to lose their home, or they're looking to upgrade their home, or, real estate is always needed, always necessary. If you were to study this mentoring program, I guarantee you will leave the program feeling more confident, having a specific system that you can put together, and know that you know what to do when it comes to real estate investing. If this is something that sounds like you want to do it, if it really resonates with your spirit, I would encourage you to go to the website and www.moneyanswersallnow.com, www.moneyanswersallnow.com, and you will see a Yellow Letter mentoring program. It is $397 for you to get started. And once you registered, you would get information for our first conference call. And from there, we figure out what zip codes you're looking for. We figure out what are your goals in real estate investing. And then we put a game plan together that specifically helps you achieve your goals. I don't believe in a cookie cutter anything. The only cookie cutter in this program is that you will get no less than 200 names and addresses of people that you can write to. Other than that, we kind of tailor it to kind of help you achieve your goals. So you have access to myself through this Google group. A lot of my students, they text me. I make myself available to answer questions that they want me specifically to answer. They also have access to Kurt Smith, and he likes to give people game plan on how to put their transaction together. I really encourage you to give this a second thought. So if this is something that resonates with your spirit, I encourage you to go to www.moneyanswersallnow.com/products page, and you will see the Yellow Letter Mentoring Program. It doesn't matter where you are. I have students from Tennessee. I have students that are signing up in Canada. It works anywhere in the United States, okay? So I encourage you, if you are somebody that is open to doing real estate investing as a way to build cash flow, maybe you're somebody that's just looking for a property, a nice property for yourself and your family. I have a couple that just graduated from our training program, and one of the reasons they got involved was they wanted to upgrade their home, and they didn't know how to. They also had a business that they didn't know how to market. So some of the things we taught in the Yellow Letter Mentoring Program, they actually used it to take their business to a whole nother level. And now, as I said, looking to upgrade their home. So they're looking for specific property, size, rooms, location to upgrade their family. So this is not just for somebody who's looking to become an investor. If you want to get a nice deal for the house you want to live in, I was able to get a really nice home through having the right connections and understanding this type of deal finding. That's what I call it. The Yellow Letter helps you to find a lot of deals, to do a lot of transactions. So I really encourage you to be open and take a look at getting started. Take a look at not making 2015 another year where you talk about doing something, but it doesn't get done. Or you could have tried real estate investing and didn't succeed. Maybe you're a broker and you are not doing that well in getting leads for sellers. Maybe you are not doing that well in your real estate business. We have quite a few real estate agents and brokers that have taken this mentoring program, and it has changed how they find leads for listings and leads for specific buyers that they have. This program really works, and I really encourage you to take a look at it. I'm going to go ahead and open up this envelope, and I'm hoping that I can show you what my letter looks like. To show you, as you can see, I just opened my envelope, and this is what my letter looks like. Here we go. Now, it's so simple. It's so simple. There you go. Now you can see it. And it works. Now, I showed you what I write in the letter. The other part to this, to have success, is to know what to say when they call you back. And that's where a book that I wrote called Success Scripts comes in. I teach you how to ask questions to get the answer you're looking for. I want to repeat that because most people just ask a question to ask a question. I had a young lady that I was mentoring years ago, probably 10 years or more now, asked me, Wendy, how do you know what questions to ask? You always ask these great questions. I said, I always frame my question based on the answer I'm looking for. So when I ask a question, I start with my answer in mind. Okay, I start with the end result in mind. So when I ask a question, if I want to know what is 5, if I want you to say the number 5, then there's only but so many questions I can ask you. I can ask you, Mary, what is 2 plus 3 equal? I could ask Mary, what is 4 plus 1? I could ask Mary, what is 10 take away 5? But those are all 3 questions that are going to get me the answer I'm looking for. So if I want to know why are you selling your home now, and I want the root of your problem, what is it that's making you sell now, then I'm going to ask that question. Mary, why are you selling your home now? Mary, what is going on at this point in your life that's making you consider selling? Mary, if you were to sell your home right now, how quickly would you want to sell it? Mary, if you don't sell your home now, what options would you have, or do you really need to sell your house right now? So you see, I asked the questions to give me the answer I'm looking for. You have to learn. There's methods to conversations with sellers. There's systems, there's frameworks of questions and how to frame your question. All of that we teach you with the Yellow Letter Mentoring Campaign, which I think a lot of coaching programs don't offer. Some people offer you the list and some people don't. Some people sign you up and they send you a book, but nobody is as specific and as detailed as we are in teaching you exactly how to do the Yellow Letter Mentoring Campaign. It is an awesome, awesome program. So I want to say to you guys, if you are interested in taking a deeper dive and working closely with me and really understanding how to do the Yellow Letter Mentoring or the Yellow Letter Campaign, and you want a mentor, I have had major success in real estate because I've always chosen a mentor. And I never looked for the mentor that I could afford. I looked for a mentor I had to stretch and get. I never wanted to make it easy. And I looked for the best mentor I could get. So when I heard about Robert Allen teaching No Money Down, I could not afford it. But I could not afford not to do it. And I tell you that one decision not only changed my life, it changed my children's life. It changed their father's life. It changed my mother's life. It changed some children who hung out in the neighborhood and had the ability to come to our house because I had a 24-hour live-in housekeeper, and most of the neighbors did not have anybody watching their kids. So my house was the house that kids could come hang out and the mothers didn't have to worry about a babysitter or paying a babysitter. So that means a lot to me. And if you're anything like me and you really want to change your life and the life of a lot of other people, I really encourage you to give this an option. But I want you not to think about, oh, I don't have $400. Well, if you don't have it, I would say find it because it can change your life. I'm telling you what I have done, not something I'm going to do. Real estate investing has changed my life and the life of a lot of people around me. And it's because I sacrificed and I found the best mentor I could find, which was Robert Allen. at the time. And then I went on and I found another great mentor who was not cheap either. And his name is Mike Ferry. And I tell you, I've paid thousands of dollars with Mike Ferry, thousands of dollars with Mike Ferry. But I've made hundreds of thousands back because of the stuff these two taught me. And I can go on and on and on. Right now, I have a business coach, and I spend thousands and thousands of dollars with my business coach. But everything I've learned from her, I've already made that money back 10 times more, because a coach will help you in areas that you don't even know, the things you don't know. So that's why I encourage you, when you're doing you're looking at real estate as an option and you want to become an investor, we have Darcy coming back. So if you want to become an investor, I would just encourage you to not try to do this on your own, because in the long run, it's going to cost you a lot of money, a lot of money. It's a lot less expensive to invest in getting the trainings that you want. People go and spend hundreds of thousands for college, and then they leave college and they still can't, earn a living. The life is changing now, right? The world is changing. There's no jobs really sitting out there waiting for you, but you can start your own business as a real estate investor. You could learn to implement the stuff Darcy's teaching.